Hi, my name is Patrick Rogers with Rents to Riches Property Management Business Coaches. If you've been thinking about starting your own business or a career in property management, I think you'd be very interested in listening to what we're going to talk about today. Um, I actually have a website, www.propertymanagementbusinessplan, where I give you a copy of the actual business plan that my wife and I used to start our property management business 2 years ago. A little bit about our background. Like I said, approximately 2 years ago, we started our own business. And prior to that, we had managed a couple of our own properties, and we just saw a real opportunity in this marketplace for expansion and growth, and I'll get into a little bit why that's really important. But in less than 2 years, we've been able to grow our business to almost 70 properties now, and the revenue is going to be coming close to $100,000 a year. My wife is actually the licensed property manager, and she's really the workhorse behind the company. My background is I've been a business and sales coach for over about 5 years now, and so we've kind of really worked together on best practices for businesses and applying to the property management industry, and I think that we've been able to streamline and find some uh, business strategies specifically to the property management field that have been just outstanding. So the website to download that, and I'm going to go through the rest of my talk. We'll actually kind of talk about that business plan and what's encased inside of it. But the website is www.propertymanagementbusinessplan.com. Okay, so a little bit about the property management industry right now and why it's so important with the background of the housing crisis. Um, there's a lot of people that cannot sell their houses, whether it be an investor that bought their property, whether it be someone who has got a new job and needs to relocate across the country or out of town. Um, Most of the houses that are trying to be sold are not selling unless they drastically reduce the price. That causes, obviously, that homeowner to rent the property out, and therefore there's an increased supply of houses. The other thing that's happening is foreclosures are occurring. People are losing jobs. Um, People that can't sell their home and nor they can't rent it out, they sometimes lose their property. And over 50% of any house purchases that are occurring right now are investors picking up that property and then turning and more than likely renting it out. The other thing that causes is those folks that do foreclose on their home, now their credit is kind of in shambles, and most of them are going to be turning around and looking to rent a house. So that kind of creates a perfect storm for the property management industry in that there's more supply and more demand. Um, so it's something I wanted to point out real quick is that you will need a license for being a property manager. You don't necessarily need a license to own your own property management business, but if you're actually going to be involved with um, actually managing the properties, more than likely your state will require a license. There are some states that don't. What I recommend you do is call your real estate division or department for your state and find out what you need. Sometimes it's an actual, just a realtor's license, and sometimes you need a specific property management license. Let me talk a little bit about the business plan itself. Inside of it, we cover our executive summary, which is a short snapshot of the business. If you were to read it in 2 seconds and walk away with what we're doing. The next section is a general company description, where we go through our mission, vision, and company commitments, which is very important. As a property management business coach, and if you actually download our business plan, you'll see that it's very important from the get-go to think of your business as a long-term goal, and your business as a product, and not just property management as a product. Recommend you read the book, The E-Myth Revisited. Absolute must for anybody starting a small business. So in the general company description, we talk about our overall strategy and some of the things that we did to get the results in such a short time. The actual entity, business entity type that we chose and why. We also teach you how to do a competitive analysis of the current property management industry in your area. And that will allow you to really put together your offering strategically to get into the marketplace and get a lot of business. We go through some strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, a lot of those won't apply to you. Um, the other thing, which I think is very important, is we cover some short-term and long-term challenges in the property management industry and discuss some of the trends, some expectations coming up for 2010 and beyond as the real estate market comes back. They'll definitely have some effects on the property management industry. We also go through a detailed description of our products and services, where our profit centers are, what percentage we charge, how we were able to kind of carve that niche. The other side of it is how to actually make money in the maintenance, offering maintenance for your property owners, exactly what percentages to charge and how to do that. The next section is probably the most important and kind of determines whether you're going to fail or sail, and that's your marketing plan. And we go through step by step in the free business plan exactly what we did to get into the marketplace in a very short period of time. Also, I put in there and included is our budget. And it's a budget that you can use. In fact, starting from your home, you can get into the property management business. Just assuming, I made some assumptions on what it costs to actually get your licenses and everything, but it's definitely less than $1,000, and you can be up and running. Another item, and probably the last item I'll talk about for the property management business plan, is I put in there a schedule, an actual daily schedule that I highly recommend, which, starting out in the first 2 to 3 months is to concentrate on marketing. And so that kind of goes through that and gives you a real good detailed analysis of what to do every day. So that pretty much concludes the talk, everything I wanted to discuss on the business plan. I highly encourage you to download it. It's absolutely free, no cost. The website again is www.propertymanagementbusinessplan.com. I wish the best of luck to you, and we'll see you in 2010. Thank you very much. Bye.